So do you see how the comparison can be in real time then on who is actually the best nigga in the NBA between them two? I'm sorry if you wasn't a fan back then to have listened to this. The world was trying to see who was a better player between those two. They were roughly the same age, competing for the scoring title.
What if I told you the Lakers dynasty almost looked completely different? Imagine a world where Tracy McGrady, not Kobe Bryant, was the one teaming up with Shaquille O'Neal. At one point, this wasn't just a fantasy, it was nearly reality. Behind the scenes, Lakers legend and general manager Jerry West had a secret plan that could have rewritten NBA history forever. The move would have completely altered the course of the Lakers dynasty, changing not only the careers of Kobe and T-Mac, but also the entire landscape of basketball as we know it.
That was first team All-NBA. Shaq is averaging 38 and 16 in the finals. If I was Shaq's teammate at that time,
I don't know. Penny Hardaway didn't get one.
Penny was a second-year player.
I'm just saying.
Penny Hardaway was older than Shaq.
Yo, what's up, basketball fans? Before we dive into this mind-blowing alternate reality, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear will change how you see NBA history. We're revealing just how close Tracy McGrady came to suiting up in purple and gold for the Los Angeles Lakers. And trust me, by the end of this story, you'll never look at those Lakers championships the same way again.
Why would I mention Tracy McGrady being compared to Kobe? Kobe Bryant averaged 30 points a game in 02-03. Do you want to see what T-Mac? 02-03. 02-03, the leading scorer in the NBA.
Lately, Gilbert Arenas has been making waves by passionately defending Tracy McGrady's controversial claim that he could have won multiple championships if he had played alongside Shaquille O'Neal. Arenas isn't just backing up T-Mac's confidence. He's breaking down why the pairing could have been one of the most dominant duos in NBA history.
Who is actually the best nigga in the NBA between them two? I'm sorry if you wasn't a fan back then to have listened to this. The world was trying to see who was a better player between those two. They were roughly the same age, competing for the scoring title.
But here's the part most people don't realize. This wasn't just some wild what-if scenario. Jerry West actually tried to make it happen. Not in 1996 before Kobe Bryant even joined the Lakers, but in 1997, after Kobe was already on the roster. That's right, the Lakers front office genuinely explored the idea of pairing Shaquille O'Neal with Tracy McGrady, which means the dynasty we know today could have looked completely different.
To watch him work out, it was like ridiculous, okay? I mean, he's like a man playing against kindergarten people. That's how advanced he was. He was versatile, but he was a ferocious defender.
According to former Lakers coach Del Harris, Jerry West became absolutely captivated by Tracy McGrady after watching his pre-draft workout in 1997. And when I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. The man known as The Logo was ready to shake up the entire Lakers roster just to bring T-Mac to Los Angeles. This isn't some rumor or internet theory. It's real, documented history that somehow got lost beneath all the championship celebrations that came later.
There's a lot of moving parts that has to come into play to winning championships. With my game and how I played, you don't think if I had the right pieces around me, I couldn't win a championship? Bro, I was one of the top players in the league. I just didn't have the pieces around me.
But let's rewind to where it all began. July 1996, at the legendary Adidas ABCD camp. A young, skinny kid from Florida named Tracy McGrady walks in, wearing jersey number 175. Yeah, 175, the last number on the roster. He was literally the final player invited to the camp, a complete unknown. Nobody had heard of him, and he wasn't even ranked among the top 500 high school prospects in the country. To most people, he was just another name on a long list, but that was about to change in a big way. Here's where things get absolutely wild. Adidas had both future superstars running through their camp system. Kobe Bryant had already made a name for himself, but then came this unknown kid, Tracy McGrady, wearing that forgotten jersey number 175. By the end of the camp, that nobody had become the #1 ranked player in the entire country. We're talking about a 6 feet 8 inches guard crossing up Lamar Odom, throwing down windmill dunks on future NBA talent, and making jaws drop left and right. Sonny Vaccaro, the godfather of grassroots basketball, had given T-Mac the platform, and the kid absolutely owned it. NBA scouts were literally picking up the phone at halftime, calling their general managers and saying, "We just found the next one." Fast forward to 1997. Tracy McGrady declares for the NBA draft. And guess who's right at the front of the line? Jerry West and the Los Angeles Lakers. Remember, they had already landed Kobe the previous year, but according to Del Harris himself, and this is a direct quote, McGrady's pre-draft workout was even more impressive than Kobe's legendary session, the very one that convinced West to trade for him in the first place.
Oh, Tracy McGrady, according to Jerry West, came in with a more mature body and had probably even an even better workout with Michael Cooper the following season when he was supposed to get drafted. And Jerry West was so impressed that his plan was to bring Tracy McGrady onto the Lakers.
Think about that for a moment. Jerry West had already witnessed teenage Kobe Bryant light up Lakers legend Michael Cooper during workouts and confidently declared, "Yeah, this kid is special." Then, just 1 year later, he watched Tracy McGrady and thought, "Hold up, we might need both of them." The logo wasn't just thinking big. He was thinking revolutionary. His vision was years ahead of its time, i.e. Big Three, before Big Threes even became a thing. Imagine it, Shaquille O'Neal dominating the paint, Kobe Bryant as the relentless scorer, and a young Tracy McGrady bringing freakish athleticism and versatility, all wearing purple and gold. But this dream hit a wall. Lakers owner Jerry Buss shut the plan down. Why? Because he refused to give up Eddie Jones, the team's beloved all-star guard, for another untested teenager. Buss was desperate to end the Lakers' championship drought and believed adding another high school player would only slow that mission down. Now, just picture it. Being the person who said no to bringing Tracy McGrady onto a roster that already had Shaq and Kobe. One decision. One hesitation. And it might have completely rewritten the history of basketball as we know it.
So Jerry West wanted to trade Eddie Jones for Tracy McGrady, but Jerry Buss pulled the plug on the deal. And the reason he did that was because he thought the Lakers would not be in the title mix if they had traded for a young Tracy McGrady. They felt that now Kobe and McGrady, it probably would have took them more time to try to develop, and they would have not been in contention for championships for years to come.
Now hold on a second. Let's address the mamba in the room. Before we start calling Tracy McGrady the lost Laker legend, we have to talk about what Kobe Bryant truly was at just 18 years old. This wasn't your average teenage prospect. Kobe was obsessed with greatness from day one. Fearless, relentless, and already wired like a veteran. While most rookies were still figuring out how to fit in, Kobe was studying film, challenging established stars in practice, and demanding to take the last shot. He wasn't just talented, he was built differently. So before we imagine what could have been with T-Mac, we need to appreciate what already was. A young Kobe Bryant who was destined to change the game forever.
I saw a clip, you said something like, Kobe tricked you for like 5 years straight, like with.
Oh yeah, with the whole yeah. I thought that was like, because I one thing about me, people know when they play me, like I know all the plays, I read the scouting reports, I do a deep dive in it. So like for forever, I thought it was just like a call that he was calling that Phil Jackson was like, feel like Kobe, how he used to do with Mike, triangle offense. Man, I realized that shit was give me the ball and everybody get the fuck out the way.
Even LeBron James once admitted he was completely fooled by Kobe Bryant's basketball genius. For years, LeBron said he thought Kobe was actually calling real offensive plays during games, until he realized Kobe was just shouting, "Get out the way." That's how confident and commanding he was on the court. Kobe didn't just play basketball, he controlled it. Now ask yourself, did T-Mac at 18 have that same swagger? That same, I'll take your best defender and drop 81 on him mentality? Kobe's mindset wasn't something you could teach or copy. It was pure Mamba DNA, The kind of fire that turned raw talent into legend.
There's 3 people in my lifetime that I admired how hard they worked. Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Kobe Bryant. He never worked out just once a day. He would get up at 4 in the morning.
Let's not forget what Michael Cooper said after watching Kobe's legendary workout. "This kid is better than anyone on our roster right now." And that wasn't coming from just anyone. Cooper was a defensive specialist who once locked down Larry Bird in the finals. Yet teenage Kobe Bryant made him look foolish. That's not revisionist history. That's exactly what happened. Fast forward to today, and Gilbert Arenas has been passionately defending Tracy McGrady's bold claim about how dominant he would have been alongside Shaq. And here's the thing. Gil's opinion actually matters. He's been in those locker rooms, played against both legends in their primes, and saw firsthand what they were capable of. In fact, Arenas once dropped 40 points in the same game where T-Mac scored 62, and afterward, he said something wild, T-Mac should have had 80 or 90 that night if he hadn't lost his rhythm. That tells you everything you need to know about how unstoppable Tracy McGrady could be when he was in the zone.
How can ring culture matter? And I said, Kobe would agree with LeBron because Kobe was affected by the ring culture bullshit that was spewed. He had 3 rings and he was being compared still to Scottie Pippen, and he was being compared to who is better between him and Tracy McGrady.
Arenas keeps stressing that this whole conversation was never about disrespecting Kobe Bryant. It was about ring culture and how unfairly we judge players based on team accomplishments. Tracy McGrady and Kobe weren't rivals in real life. They were brothers. Their bond was real, built on mutual respect and shared greatness. As Gilbert Arenas put it, we were talking about rings, about how that culture shouldn't define your career. But here's what's really fascinating. By 2002, Kobe had already won 3 NBA championships with Shaquille O'Neal, and yet people were still debating whether T-Mac or Kobe was the better player. If rings truly decided everything, that argument wouldn't have even existed. But Tracy McGrady was that good. In Orlando, he was dropping 32 points per game, carrying mediocre rosters to the playoffs, and doing it all with effortless grace. Even without rings, he was mentioned in the same breath as a 3-time champion. Now, let's play out the alternate reality, the one Jerry West dreamed about. What if Jerry Buss had said yes to that 1997 trade for T-Mac? We're looking at 2 completely different timelines. Scenario 1. The Lakers managed to keep both Kobe and T-Mac alongside Shaq. That's 3 alpha scorers on one team before super teams even became a buzzword. Then, Phil Jackson arrives in 1999 and suddenly has to manage 3 egos instead of 2. Could the triangle offense even function with that much offensive firepower? Or would the team have imploded under the weight of its own talent, like so many other star-stacked squads that came later? Scenario 2. The Lakers choose T-Mac instead of Kobe. They trade away the young Mamba, and maybe he lands in Toronto, where T-Mac eventually played, teaming up with Vince Carter to create one of the most explosive duos the league has ever seen. Meanwhile, the Lakers roll with T-Mac and Shaq as their 1-2 punch. Based on T-Mac's laid-back, easygoing personality, maybe he and Shaq never have the kind of legendary feud that eventually tore the Kobe-Shaq dynasty apart. But then comes the big question. Does T-Mac ever develop that killer instinct that defined Kobe Bryant? Does he push himself to the same extremes? Because remember, part of what made Kobe legendary wasn't just his skill, it was his psychotic dedication. T-Mac might have been more naturally gifted, but Kobe was obsessed. He was the guy in the gym at 4 a.m., shooting until sunrise. Even Shaq admitted it. T-Mac had more talent, but Kobe had more dog in him. And T-Mac himself once revealed the exact moment he knew Kobe had arrived. Game 4 of the 2000 NBA Finals against Indiana. Shaq fouled out in overtime, and 21-year-old Kobe took over. No hesitation. No fear. That was the moment he stopped being Shaq's sidekick and became a killer. That's the difference between talent and mentality. T-Mac had all the talent in the world. Just look at his 13 points in 33 seconds miracle. But did he have that? That unbreakable drive that makes you play through torn ligaments, broken fingers, and still dropped 60? That's what separated Kobe from everyone else. Now, looking back at the facts, Del Harris confirmed that Jerry West truly wanted to trade for T-Mac's draft rights in 1997. To make it happen, the Lakers would have had to part with Eddie Jones, an all-star guard, their first-round pick, and possibly Eldon Campbell. All just to move up into the top 10, where T-Mac was projected. He eventually went 9th to Toronto. It was a steep price for an untested 18-year-old who hadn't played a single NBA minute. But Jerry West, the architect of Showtime, the man who drafted Kobe and signed Shaq, was that convinced Tracy McGrady was special. And that tells you everything you need to know about how highly he was regarded. At the end of the day, hypotheticals are fun.
Now he scared me. Kobe scared the living shit out of me, because here's why. Kobe was a savant. You did not know more basketball than Kobe Bryant.